Recording the guitar can seem like a complicated thing to do, but it's relatively easy to do once you know how. I'm not an expert though, but I know a man that is, so I'd like to welcome a very special guest to the channel, Dave Hattersley. Dave has a fantastic channel called Dave's Guitar Club, which is linked to below, and he knows all about home studio recording. In this video, it's going to teach you a very few simple steps that you can do to really get a much better reflection of how you actually sound. So without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to Dave and thank him once again for making this video for the channel. Over to you, Dave.
Thanks, Jamie. So to start us off, I'm going to play you 3 recordings. One of these recordings was recorded with equipment and software that costs over £1,000, one that costs about £85, and one that costs between £10 and £30. Now, can you guess which one is which? I'd love to see how good your guesses are, so if you could comment below which you think is which, and then at the end I'm going to go through which recording was done with which setup. Recording all starts with getting the guitar's signal into the computer. To do this, we need some hardware called an audio interface. Now, an interface is a device that you can plug your microphones or your guitar straight into. So you can place a microphone in front of an amp and have the guitar plugged into the amp just like normal, and then you have your microphone plugged into the interface. Or you can plug the guitar directly into the interface, and then we can add amp simulators to this, which we're going to come to later. My interface is a Focusrite Sapphire Pro 40 twinned with a Focusrite OctoPre. Now, this setup has 16 channels in total, which means I can plug in 16 things like microphones and guitars, and I can record them all at the same time. You probably won't need this many inputs unless you're going to be recording quite a few instruments at the same time. The more inputs will mean more expensive interfaces. This then connects to the computer via a USB or a FireWire cable, and then this links up with some software. Recording software is called a DAW, which stands for Digital Audio Workstation. The DAW is basically a software that you record into. The DAW that I use is a software used in a lot of professional recording studios called Pro Tools. Now, you can do a lot with Pro Tools, but today I'm just going to be recording some guitars, so I'm not going to be using all of the functionality that this software has. There are lots of DAWs out there, such as Ableton, Logic, Cubase, and loads more, and they all do similar things. Now, I don't see any one DAW as being better than any other DAW. It's just a case of finding which ones you like to use. Now, my setup has been built up and collected and even replaced a lot over the last 10 years or more, so don't feel that you need to buy everything at once, and there are lots of alternatives out there too. I've plugged my guitar into channel 2 on my interface. Now, in Pro Tools, I just need to add a new channel so I can record the guitar into that channel. My guitar is plugged into input 2, so I need to link this channel I've just made to input 2. Now all I need to do is record enable the track, press record, and I can record my guitar. It's that simple. There's just one more thing I want to do before I record. Now, because I have the guitar plugged straight into my computer with no amp, I want to use an amp simulator, which will basically just take the sound of my guitar and make it sound like it's coming through an amp. Now, the amp simulator I use is from a company called TuneTrack, and you buy the initial software, which is a software called Easy Mix, and then you buy separate add-on packs like different amps and things like that. Now, the cool thing about using amp simulators, which is why I use amp simulators when I'm making videos, is after I've recorded my guitar parts or recorded any instruments really, I can change the amp simulator, so I have a lot more flexibility when it comes to changing the guitar's sound. Now I want to show you some equipment that you can buy that is perfect for getting started with. So the first thing you need, again, is an interface. Now there's quite a few cheaper interfaces out there, but the interface that I have dealt with before and would recommend is one called the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, which is this thing here. Now this is a 2-channel interface, which means that I can plug 2 different things in at the same time, so I can record 2 things at once. Now this costs about £85, and we've linked to it in the description box below. Now this also comes with 2 doors as well. Now that just really blows my mind every time. You can get for £85 a 2-channel interface and Pro Tools First, which is the first door, which is a stripped back, more basic version of the door that I use, and another excellent door called Ableton Live Lite, which is a more stripped back version of the software Ableton Live. There's also starter packs that you can get with this interface, the Scarlett 2i2, that come with a microphone. Now the microphone is usually a Rode NT1A, which is this microphone here. Now this, for a cheap microphone, is really good quality. I still use this microphone on a regular basis. These starter packs can also come with headphones too. I've seen them come with MIDI keyboards and with monitor speakers as well. This interface works in the exact same way as the interface that I've already shown you. All you do is you plug the interface in and then you just send a USB cable or a Firewire cable to the back of your computer. Now I'm going to record some guitars in the exact same way as when I was using Pro Tools, but this time using Pro Tools First, and see what results I get. Now Pro Tools First is the same as Pro Tools with just less features. So it looks the exact same and it's used in the exact same way as the Pro Tools setup that I use. So I'm expecting very similar, if not the exact same results. The only difference will be that the amp simulators that I'm going to be using with this recording will be with free amp simulators that come with Pro Tools First. The final setup I want to show you is how you can record your guitar and get really good results for about £30, so £10 to £30 using your phone. Now all you need to buy is one of these things. This is an iRig 2. Now there are different versions of the iRig out there, and this one is about £30, but I know you can get one for about £10 that works the exact same as well. I'm going to show you this on an iPhone, as the iPhone's what I have, but I think this works on other phones as well. At least everything I've looked up says it does, but I have no personal experience of using it on other phones, so you might want to check up on that as well. And I'm going to use the free software that comes on iPhones and iPads, which is called GarageBand. So GarageBand is going to be being used as my DAW, and the iRig is going to be used as my interface. All you need to do is plug this into the headphone jack on your phone, then you plug your guitar in here on this side, and then you can plug your headphones in next to the guitar, or you can plug another jack lead, guitar lead, that goes through into your amp so you can hear yourself playing. It's really that simple. Now you can just record straight into voice memo or just do a video recording, but I'm going to use, like I said, GarageBand. And the cool thing about GarageBand is that it's free, obviously, and it comes with some okay sounding amp simulators as well, so that's why I'm going to use GarageBand to record a track. So now I have 3 recordings. I've tried to record something similar with each of these setups, so let's see if you've guessed correct with which recording is done with which setup. This first recording was done using the iRig plugged straight into my phone. The second recording was done on my setup using Pro Tools. And the third recording was done on the Scarlett 2i2 interface with Pro Tools first. Check out my channel called Dave's Guitar Club, where I make a lot of videos about analysing albums and bands and artists and seeing what we can learn from them. And I also do a lot of guitar lessons aimed at helping people to learn to be more creative. And I just want to say thanks to Jamie for having me on his channel. I've been watching Jamie's videos for years and it really is a pleasure to be a guest on this channel. Have a good one, guys, and I hope this has introduced you to recording and given you a bit of information that's going to help you to get started. So hopefully see you again on Jamie's channel. Have a good one, guys, and thanks a lot, Jamie.